Cruise news. Hey everyone, Mike here, your cruise news anchor coming to you live with the latest happenings from the high seas. Buckle up as we set sail through today's top headlines. From ship mishaps to vacation nightmares, I've got all the hottest news rocking the cruise world this week. So join me on this voyage through the wildest waves in cruising today. And don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button so you never miss out on the freshest cruise gossip. Now let's batten down the hatches and dive right into the action. First up, we've got not one but two cruise ships that broke free from their moorings last week during blustery conditions. It just goes to show that even mega-sized vessels are no match for Mother Nature's fury. The first escapee was the brand new Norwegian Prima. This huge ship was docked in Galveston when a gusty gale pushed her away from the pier. The lines securing her snapped like twine. Thankfully, tugs were able to wrangle her back in before she became a bulky boating hazard. Just days later, the Italian MSC Sinfonia also broke free in windy weather. This time in Sicily. The ship smashed into boats and a pier before being corralled back in place. While there were no injuries, it definitely shook up passengers and crew, and made everyone realize that wind can quickly turn your vacation into a horror movie. I don't know about you, but I like my cruise ships securely tethered to shore, not adrift on the rolling waves. Let's hope for smooth sailing and zero impromptu tugboat rodeos in the future. Now, from runaway ships to a ship looking for a new home port, Carnival recently announced plans to transfer the Costa Fortuna into their fleet. This grand vessel will be rechristened the Carnival Fiume Italian style. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? She'll be the second ship undergoing this new branding experiment by Carnival. They're hoping to fuse Carnival's casual fun with an upscale European vibe. But not everyone is on board with this plan. Critics wonder if trying to blend these two diverse styles will leave passengers confused and potentially disappointed. It reminds me of when Burger King launched international chicken sandwiches. They took the same patty and tried fusion toppings to make it French, Italian, etc. In theory, it sounded appetizing, but in reality, it always tasted decidedly like Burger King. That's the challenge Carnival faces. Will their fun Italian style maintain unique elements, or just seem like the same old Carnival with a sprinkle of marinara sauce? Only time will tell if this is a recipe for success, or leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. I say bon voyage to this brave new experiment on the high seas. Now for a story that left one parent with a bad taste in their mouth and a sky-high cell phone bill. A child's cruise video streaming resulted in almost $500 in surprise charges, and the livid parent is pointing the blame finger straight at Carnival. This vacationing family let their kid use their phone freely while on a Carnival cruise. When they returned home, bam, nearly $500 in data roaming fees. The parent insists it's Carnival's fault for not warning passengers about potential costs. They accused the cruise line of deliberately conspiring with phone companies to sow the seeds of these monetary mishaps. But most experts agree the fault lies squarely on the family. Nowadays, it's common knowledge that using cell service at sea leads to piracy bills. Responsible cruisers always enable airplane mode or buy an international plan. That prevents returning home to shocking sticker shock. So while Carnival could provide more warnings, the onus is on passengers to get savvy beforehand. Consider this poor parent's blunder a $470 lesson in cruise preparation. Speaking of cruise planning, rough regional waters are forcing ships to alter their itineraries. Violence and unrest near the Red Sea has two cruise lines steering clear. MSC and Silversea have both scheduled stops in the danger zone. With missile strikes and military conflicts raging, they're not risking passenger safety. This last-minute change left some folks fuming over missed ports. But when it's a choice between seeing Petra or sailing safely, I say full speed ahead away from peril. These cruise lines made the right call to reroute and avoid risky business. But it does create a headache for passengers who had excursions booked. The moral here: purchasing travel insurance helps safeguard your vacation dollars if something unexpected arises. A wise way to hedge your bets when cruising in unpredictable waters. And finally, we end on a high note with a triumphant tale. Royal Caribbean's behemoth icon of the seas sailed into Miami this week, eager to claim the crown as world's largest cruise vessel. At 250,000 tons and holding over 7,000 passengers, this ship is more like a floating city than a boat. It's chock full of next-level features like a massive pool deck, unreal 20-story slide, and eye-popping robot bartenders. To give you a sense of scale, Icon is taller than the Washington Monument and longer than 3 football fields. Let's hope she has an easier time maneuvering Caribbean ports than those runaway ships we talked about earlier. Icon still has some test cruises before her official maiden voyage, but already she's being hailed as the future of cruising, and her arrival is being celebrated as a maritime milestone for the industry. Bon voyage to this behemoth as she sets sail on her reign as Queen of the Seas. Smooth sailing ahead. And that's a wrap on another day of the hottest cruise news around. I hope you enjoyed riding the waves and diving into the depths of today's top cruise stories with me. Tomorrow I'll be back with a fresh batch of the most titillating tales from the high seas. You won't want to miss it. So smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can be the first to know when I drop anchor with new cruise news. In the meantime, chart your course, settle into your deck chair, and get ready to set sail with me on more nautical adventures. The voyage continues tomorrow, so I'll see you bright and early. Bon voyage.